Oh, thank fuck for that.
Apple, take 3, A marker. B marker.
3, 2, 1, action.
When I read episode 3 and saw that I would be bringing Dany and Jon Snow together for the first time, the hairs on the back of my neck were standing up.
Jon meeting Dany. It was kind of an exciting, thrilling thing to watch happening even as we were shooting it.
So I think there is a spark from the beginning. Within the first scene when they meet, there's that kind of friction. So there's something bubbling.
People have been waiting 7 years for various people to meet and maybe get it on.
How very dare you.
Just kill it, Amelia. Just kill this scene. Kill it. Kill it.
We divvy up the scripts, and Dan will get one half and I'll get the other half, and we're always kind of fighting over which half, because there's usually a scene both of us really want to write, and of course in this episode it was the first meeting between Daenerys Targaryen and Jon Snow.
The scene, in essence, had to be relatively static. And so to achieve a sense of visual variety, we wanted to shoot from many different angles and to cut wide and get a sense of the majesty of this room, you know, whenever possible, without destroying the intimacy of this initial meeting.
Part of the fun of it is kind of undercutting the drama a little bit, you know, in the very beginning when Missandei does her lavish introduction of Daenerys and all the titles that Daenerys has acquired over the years.
You stand in the presence of Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen, rightful heir to the Iron Throne, rightful queen, rightful heir?
Rightful heir to the Iron Throne.
Oh, that was a good start. Rightful heir to the Iron Throne, the mother of dragons, the Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea, the unburnt, the breaker of chains.
And then Jon's waiting for Davos to do the same for him, and Davos wasn't really prepared for that because Jon doesn't really collect titles.
This is Jon Snow.
And then there's that awkward beat.
He's king of the north.
For both Dan and me, I think it's one of our favorite moments in the whole season. And we've both watched that now hundreds of times, and I think I laugh every single time.
And then, of course, the scene becomes this fencing match.
So I assume, my lord, you're here to bend the knee.
I am not.
And a wonderful moment where she comes down talking about her faith in herself. And I was expecting Emilia to play it a certain way, and on the day she played it, it was so much better than the way it was in my head.
Do you know what kept me standing through all my years of exile? Faith.
She made it so much better. I really understood the iron will of the character in that moment and understood these two immovable objects.
The worlds colliding, and you realise the difference between these worlds. Between Jon's sort of humble, not wanting to show off, and then Daenerys, who is all show, who is all power.
I was born to rule the Seven Kingdoms, and I will.
You'll be ruling over a graveyard.
She's been the chosen one, and then suddenly this Jon Snow is like coming up in with a similar game plan of like saving people? No. No. She's ready for it when he comes in, but she tries to do her diplomatic thing first.
Jon is a terrible politician. Dany has this extraordinary pride and driven sense of entitlement to the throne, and that bars them from making a connection.
Am I your prisoner?
Not yet.